Hey guys, my name is Lizzie McMahon, and today I'm going to be talking to you about microbes in the gastrointestinal tract of horses. Um, so first off, I'd like to tell you guys about colic. So what is colic? Colic is an abdominal upset, and this incorporates a wide variety of different things. It incorporates anything from a mare going into labor to a horse with digestion issues. So it encompasses a lot of different things. Colic is also the number one cause of death in horses. In approximately 1 in 10 horses, that colic will die. Some common signs of colic are rolling, biting their stomach, pawing their stomach, sitting like a dog, sweating, restlessness, just essentially anything that um, you know is not your horse's norm. So it's very important to know what your horse looks like normally. If your horse is rolling after a bath, that's fine and normal, but if he continues to roll, that could be a sign of colic. Um, so just some general causes of colic. Like I said before, colic's a very broad term, but some causes could potentially be ulcers for horses that travel a lot, such as like hunter jumpers who travel from show to show, and race horses, parasites, lack of water, so horses could get an impaction if they don't have water to wash down the feed. Different changes in feed, which changes the microbial levels in the hindgut, which is what I'm mainly going to talk to you guys about today. And also, there's a theory saying that the weather could also cause this change. So there are different types of colic. These are the main ones. So gas colic is usually very simple, can be relieved on its own in most cases. There's also impaction, which can mean that the horse is gorging on feed. There's not enough water. Um, Also, happens a lot um, if you give, like, this could happen if you give your horse like beet pulp without watering it down first. There's also sand colic, which is pretty prevalent down south, especially since there's no pasture and it's really sandy down there. And then the most severe type of colic, which is a twisted intestine, and usually this has to be resolved via surgery. So there are different types of prevention that you could do to help prevent colic. One of the big things is avoid meal feeding. Horses are natural grazers, so the more that you can avoid, just feeding, let's say at 5, 3, and 9 o'clock at night, could help prevent colic. Usually it doesn't work in our schedules, but that's mostly preferred. Another thing is to avoid changing the diet too frequently or too fast. A lot of people say that you should change feed at 1 pound of new feed every 3 days until the feed is changed over completely. And this is because rapid feed change could upset the microflora in the intestine. Another thing is to make sure your grain is secured safely in another room so the horse doesn't get a carb overload. You have an adequate water supply, like I said, to help prevent impaction. Make sure you go and you deworm your horse frequently, and avoid high concentrate diets because horses are grazers, so forage is better for them. So what should you do if your horse colics? Um, the main thing that a lot of people say is keep your horse moving. In some cases, if the horse is a danger to himself and is trying to roll, keep him moving. This could prevent a twisted gut. If the pain does not subside after a while, call your vet before administering any pain medication such as Banamine. The reason behind this is the vet may want to come and look at him and evaluate him and his condition, but by administering Banamine, you could mask his symptoms. The vet may ask you to take your horse's TPR, or temperature, respiration, and pulse. It is very important that you know what your horse's normal is. The vet might also ask you to listen to your horse's side, to listen for gurgling noises or gut sounds. And gut sounds are a really good thing. because that means that your horse's digestive system is working correctly in most cases. And you want to make sure that these gurgling noises are very frequent. Infrequent ones could mean that there could be something wrong. So once a vet is needed, they perform a rectal exam and feel different parts of the GI tract to rule out a twisted gut. If there is no twisted gut, the vet may go and tube your horse with a mineral solution to try to predict if there's an impaction. In the case where neither of these methods work, surgery may be your only option. Not only is surgery pricey, which it can cost anywhere from $2,000 upwards of $8,000 depending on where you live, but there's also a 50-50 chance that your horse will survive the surgery. Afterwards, it takes about 3 months of rehab before you can start bringing your horse back into work. Also, once a horse has had colic surgery, the chances of him having colic again are very high. And on a more personal note, I actually included a lot of pictures of my horse who is a colic surgery survivor, and knock on wood, he's been colic-free for the past 5 years. Alrighty, so I want to talk to you guys about the research behind some of the effects of microbial effects in horses. So horses' microflora begins during the birthing process and continues to proliferate through their life. This establishment of bacteria is crucial to the horses to ensure that the digestibility sound going into adulthood. The first colonies that grow in a foal's body are most likely strict anaerobes such as Streptococcus or Lactobacilli. During the next 3 days of life, colonies of cellulitic bacteria begin to grow as well. Later, there are only minor changes in the hindgut flora in foals. Within the time, the bacteria diversifies, which leads to a stable gut flora. A horse's microflora is very diverse. It includes protozoa, bacteria, fungi, and archaea. Unfortunately, at this time, scientists have not been able to identify 95% of the bacteria sequences found in the colon. At homeostasis, Firmicutes, a type of bacteriophylla, dominates the colon. When a horse suffers from colic, it is shown that there is an increase in the total number of colonies of Bacteroides. Scientists have agreed that colic may be a disease of the disturbance of microbial gut flora. Nutrition also plays a major role in the hindgut flora. Diets rich in starch, such as grain, are reported to increase the total number of anaerobes, Streptococcus, Lactobacilli, and other types of bacteria. Studies have shown that diets rich in forage have increased the number of Bacteroides and decreased the number of Fibrobacter. Because of few levels of alpha amylase in the brush border, researchers believe that our equine companions may have a problem with accumulating too much starch. This is okay if the horse is on a high forage diet, but could spell trouble for a horse that's not. With the accumulation of lactic acid and gases because of rising levels of lactate-producing bacteria, highly increased levels of this bacteria can cause a rapid shift in cecal and colonic microbes, thus lowering the pH of the hindgut from a pH of over 7 to a pH of 6. This in turn will cause a drastic change in the gut flora, which results in the inhibition of acid-intolerant bacteria groups and butyrate production. The drop in butyrate production is especially detrimental since it serves as an anti-inflammatory, preserving the lining of the cecal wall as well as a major energy source for colonocytes. Once lactate starts to increase, the production of butyrate transport systems decreases, which leads to more lactate production, which increases inflammation and pathological effects. Such shifts have also been linked to gastrointestinal disease in humans. So in conclusion, prevention is key to making sure that your horse stays healthy. So making sure that your horse has adequate water supply, you provide good quality forage as well as grains if they need it, and to just keep a close eye on your horse and make sure you know what his normal is. Thank you.